This is gonna be interesting. Hi guys, welcome to my Foxy channel. Welcome to my kitchen, and welcome to the third episode of Tips, Tricks, and Tablespoons. So, as promised, we're in my kitchen, and today's episode, well, we're gonna talk about Whole Foods again. Why? Well, because Whole Foods are important, and in this case, we're gonna kind of go over things that, well, I think most people have these kinds of things sitting around their kitchen, or they can get them at their grocery store or market. And these are things that I find are very, very important to have on hand. We're going to start with where Whole Foods start. Well, let's start with some of the best things. Carbs. Let's start with some oats. You could keep oats. You could keep rice. All sorts of rice. You could keep beans, dried beans, lentils. You could keep nuts and seeds. Those are all shelf staple, right? Staples. You can keep those on hand. There's produce out there that you can keep that are also shelf staples. Potatoes, all sorts. Well, what kind of potatoes are great? Well, if you want to go like nutrient dense, go sweet potato. Little red and purple potatoes, if you can find them. Red potatoes are good. I mean, but there's nothing better than a Yukon for a mashed potato. And then there's russets. Russets are good, just make sure you rinse them. There's lots of starch. Other ones that you can keep on hand: onions, garlic, ginger, carrots, pretty much any root vegetable. If you keep certain things in your crisper or areas of your refrigerator, they can tend to last a little bit longer too. Things like apples, beets, even pears can last a little longer. Although pears tend to be sensitive, so. Canned goods. Canned goods are a great shelf staple. Don't be afraid to use certain canned goods. I myself love a good canned beet. Like, when I can't find a good fresh beet and that season is just off and they're all tiny or they don't look great, I'll get a few cans of beets and I'll take them home. If they don't come already pickled, I'll rinse off the water and then I'll have them soak in a balsamic vinaigrette. And I love balsamic vinegar. That's another good shelf staple, as well as apple cider vinegar. They make great dressings. You can use them for many things. Just vinegar itself is just a good thing to have on hand. I like mustard. I like keeping like yellow mustards and Dijon mustards as well for flavor. And while we're on the topic of flavor, something that I definitely encourage all of you to keep on hand is a plethora of spices and herbs. We're going to see if we can adjust away from the corner for a second. So, in this cabinet over here, and my head's probably going to be cut off. In this cabinet over here, I have so many spices, so many herbs and whatnots. Not sponsored, but I have pretty much every single one of these McCormick flavorings, and they're probably one of my favorite. They're absolutely marvelous. They're fantastic. I recommend keeping a ton of spices and herbs and things in your kitchen. You can spice up anything, which brings us into some proteins, staples that you can have. You can freeze them. Proteins. So, what are great whole food proteins? Chicken, turkey, a lean beef, pork, fish. You can get all kinds of fish. And don't be afraid to get it frozen. You can get frozen fish, frozen chicken, frozen turkey. You can get almost all of it frozen. You just got to make sure it's natural. Look on the back, make sure there's not like a bunch of water added or anything like that, and you should be good to go. You can also buy canned things. So I'm not a big fan of canned meats. I'm going to be honest. They kind of freak me out a little bit. But a good canned tuna or a good canned salmon, they're super handy. There's nothing better than a good tuna casserole, especially in the winter months. Canned tomatoes. There's also that controversy with canned tomatoes. There's gosh, what is it, citric dioxide or something like that, and it's just not something people like. So stay away from the diced canned tomatoes. Buy tomato puree, buy whole canned tomatoes, and you can also use tomato paste. Whole grains, I like to keep on hand. I keep beans, lentils. My family loves lentils, and jasmine rice. We also keep chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, and I'm a big fan of sunflower. So when it comes to my cabinets, which I did not close, when it comes to my cabinets, you open them up, you're gonna see no peanut butter. It's gonna be almond butter. You're gonna see cookie butter. That's more of a treat. And then you're gonna find sunflower butter. And sunflower butter is just my thing. I really like it. I also like to keep honey on hand. I also like to keep agave as well as maple syrup. Natural sweeteners are just, they're so handy. They come in useful for so many things. You can literally fix millions of meals. I mean, so many dishes by just keeping these basic whole foods in your house. Oils, keep only healthy, heart-healthy oils on hand. Olive oil, avocado oil. You really don't need anything else. They're both, like, you use the avocado when you're doing high heat and the olive oil for everything else. Spices and herbs, you can just go. It's unlimited. So have fun. And you should keep like a little garden. Like if you have space to do like a little herb garden, or in the winter months, bring it inside and have a little spot that has sun, you should do it. There's so many good herbs out there. My favorites are dill and chives. But I mean, oregano, I have some in my garden. I have oregano, and I have German thyme. I have lemon thyme. I have just your standard cooking thyme. I have cilantro, because cilantro also, when it bolts the seeds at the end, if you treat it anyways, I've had them come back the next year anyways. It's coriander. So it's a handy one to come in to have on hand, especially if you have a box full of it, because you can have both going at the same time. I like parsley. Parsley is a good one to have on hand. Rosemary is a good one. Anyways, there's so many. My favorite right now is lemon thyme, because you can add it to so many things, and it goes really well with all those proteins we talked about. It also goes really well just on a plain pasta with a little bit of butter or a little olive oil. Yeah, it's delicious. Long-lasting produce besides potatoes, there was onions, garlic, ginger. Did I mention apples? Apples and turnips and things like that. You can put those in your fridge and they last a long time. Canned goods. Let's end the canned goods on a good note. Like one of my favorite canned goods, I like to keep black beans and kidney beans, and I even keep canned corn just to have it on hand in case I need it. But one of my favorites is canned coconut milk. The best. Every year for Christmas, I make a hot cocoa, and it's vegan. It's made, and people didn't realize it, but yeah, it's coconut milk. And you can use coconut milk for curries. You can use coconut milk for soups. I mean, you can use it even as creamer in your coffee if you want. It also makes really good cake. Dairy products. Dairy products to keep on hand that are good house staples. Again, eggs. They do so many things for us, and you can just eat them the way they are. If you are an egg person like I am, and you're on a calorie deficit, a good way to fit in some more of the calories and get some yummy eggs, I do recommend egg whites. They come in handy. I usually mix just 2 whole eggs, and then I'll put in about 100 grams of egg whites. You can totally put more than that, but it gives you a really good size amount of eggs, proteins, bumps your proteins up. And then I like to add my egg McCormick stuff that I showed you with some sriracha on top, and then I always have it with some sourdough toast. And on one day, some days I have sliced apple chunks with cinnamon on top and sometimes raisins. And other days I end up having broccoli and spinach and red peppers or something in my eggs. So it just depends on the day. Let's see. Cottage cheese is a good one. Cottage cheese does a lot for us. We can make ice creams, we can make puddings, we can make cakes, we can make so many things out of cottage cheese. There's so many recipes out there now. So cottage cheese, again, a great one. Even if you don't like cottage cheese, if you blend it and you use it in your recipes, most of the time you can't even tell it's there. And then I would say finally, for as far as dairy, well, I guess not finally, there's two things. But yogurt. Yogurt, I feel like, is one of the most important things to have in that fridge. Not only is it for the probiotics, but most yogurts nowadays you can actually find regular, like I love Faya, the zero, and it has no fat, and you get like 18 grams of protein per serving. I use it for desserts, I use it for breakfast, I use it for everything. I love Greek yogurt. It's the best. And now there's like vegan and or vegetarian versions of the yogurt. Yeah, a lot of them aren't as high of protein, but I mean, if you don't want that dairy, please, yeah, get that in. The other dairy that I wanted to throw out there was milk. So it's a good household staple, whole food staple. You can get fresh milk. I don't love regular milk. I do like Fairlife, again, the blue one. I don't know if it's fat free, but I do love that one. But I am all about, I still have soy milk here and there, because I think it's a great source of protein, and it's a little bit more sustainable. I think I like oat milk a lot more when it comes down to like favorites. It's creamier, but you know, everyone has their own favorites. So yeah, I think that's everything, guys. I mean, you could literally live off of everything. You know, you want whole foods in your house. You know, keep your fruits and veggies if you like strawberries, if you like blackberries. I mean, if you're not a big fruit and veggie person, if you slowly start to incorporate it into things, into different meals, you'll slowly notice the more you eat whole foods, the more you crave them. And strangely enough, you'll start to crave things you never thought you liked. I used to not like asparagus, and now I love it and I can't get enough. I also didn't used to like blue cheese, and I'm starting to like that as well. And I think it's just those taste buds, right? When you start to eat whole foods and things that are healthy and nutrient dense, it does something to you. And with that said, I love you all. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that notification bell. Get it ding, 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 ding. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Next week, I'm going to be bringing you another tips, tricks, and tablespoons, probably again in the kitchen. Hopefully, I can get us a little higher up, so I'm not having to lean over or duck down a little. But yeah, we'll get it figured out. And next week we'll be back here in the kitchen. I believe I'm going to be making something with you guys. And then we are also going to be releasing I don't know if I'm doing a workout video this week for you, but it definitely is going to be in the gym. I'm going to be showing you guys some things. So stay tuned for that. You got to like and subscribe in order to find out what's going to happen, guys. Come on, like and subscribe. Join our Foxy family. Love to be able to see all a part of us. So love y'all. Stay foxy. Stay beautiful. Crimson out.